Heroes. Joining us now, attorney Michael Barash, whose law firm represents thousands of 9/11 survivors, responders, and victims' families. Michael, good morning. 19 years later, you have dedicated your time to helping people who suffered after 9/11, who suffered on that day. What can you tell us about first responders? Let's begin there, who, as I said a moment ago, continue to die from what they breathed in on that pile. The day will come not far from now when more firefighters will have died from helping on the pile than who died on that day. And there were 343 of them in the New York City Fire Department who died that day.
Well, Willie, thanks for having me back. It's an honor to be with you guys. In fact, more people have now died of 9/11 illnesses since 9/11 than died on 9/11. Think about that. And it's because of the toxic dust. They were all exposed to these carcinogens. And now with the coronavirus, the 9/11 community in particular is so vulnerable, because if you've had COPD or asthma, which are two of the most common of the respiratory illnesses, or if you've been decimated by cancer and had to have chemotherapy, your immune system is shot. And not a day goes by without one of my clients dying. It's so heartbreaking.
Susan Del Percio, you are a New Yorker. What are your thoughts this morning as you watch these images?
Willie, I've been thinking about 9/11, especially since Tuesday, when the Memorial Foundation had their annual benefit had to be virtual. And what hit me so hard was how much we came together immediately following, watching the workers go down to the site, watching people from all around the country come in and help, and thinking that we were united as a country. And it stands in such stark contrast of where we are today. We still had all the first responders coming to New York in March and April and for months to come, but it's different now, and we're dealing with we're dealing with a pandemic that is killing hundreds of thousands of people, and we're not united. I look at the images and I think about going down to the site 2 days after, on September 13th, wanting to help, and then having to force to kind of run for cover as a building they thought was coming down, and realizing that there was nothing to do at that site. I didn't have the skill set, if you will. So I went down and helped out at the piers as they were getting certain events together to like at Yankee Stadium for the country to kind of come together. And the people and the patriots that we saw going through and what they were willing to do for our country. And they should never be forgotten.
Amen. Amen. Paul, you have a question for Michael?
I do. Michael, thanks for your leadership. I suffer from the 9/11 exposures like so many others. I'm glad that you're putting that out in front. There's a hashtag, My Friends Are Dying, that we've tried to elevate to remind people that this is not over and we're losing friends every single day. The Ray Pfeiffer Foundation, Tunnel to Towers, so many others are critical. Look, my family knows I'm probably going to die from something I was exposed to down there. Many others will too. What do you think people can do today if they're motivated to help?
Okay, so sadly, many people believe that the benefits created by Congress when they created the free World Trade Center Health Program and the Victim Compensation Fund, which has now been extended for 70 years, many people don't understand that it's for the non-first responders just as well as the responders. There were 500,000 people in the 9/11 community. 300,000 of them were office workers, yet only 5% of them have registered for the health program. So I think the big problem right now, Paul, is that people don't realize that they have rights. And if I can quote Jon Stewart, which thank God for Jon Stewart, we got this bill extended, access what you are entitled to. 9/11 didn't end on 9/11. Still, so many people need this free health care. They're entitled to the compensation, but they must register. And the special master has done a wonderful thing. She extended the deadline for people who died more than 2 years ago of a 9/11 illness to next July. But you must register, and sadly, so many people don't realize it. So please, if you're out there, spread the word.
Michael, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. Admiral, we would like to turn this over to you for the last minute and get your thoughts not only on this day, but the countless American heroes that decided to defend their country, leave their comfortable life in the United States, and go overseas after 9/11.
These are all heroes. These first responders, these firemen, these police officers, those civilians who stood and delivered in all of those venues, the Todd Beamers, and all of our military. And we ought to remember on this day, again, 9/11, you can drop a plumb line from that day to these heroes who still walk among us in all of those professions, dealing with the pandemic at home, but who are also in Afghanistan, who are in Syria, who are on forward patrol, who are deployed on ships, all of them volunteers, all of them who care so deeply for this country. They are the hope of our future. And I am very optimistic about America when I see their spirit, and we should celebrate that, even in the midst of recognizing the pain and the tragedy of 19 years ago.
Thank you, Admiral. That does it for us this morning. Stephanie Ruhle picks up the coverage right now.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.